I am Donna Wood. I am Brendan's mother. And my journey started in 1984 when the sexual abuse started. By the time I was 12, my skull had been fractured in 4 places. And at 17, that same brother that had raped me from the age of 4 to 7 tried raping me again. I developed a mental disorder called multiple personality. In 1998, we found out my dad was dying of brain cancer. At this point, I was already an alcoholic, cocaine addict, and using marijuana daily. I had a suicide note under my pillow, and I felt like I was losing my battle. So I went to the doctor, and I told her that something big had to happen because I was not gonna make it. She ran some tests, and she comes back in and she says, "How's this for big? Merry Christmas, Mama. You're pregnant." I went home, I flushed all the drugs, all the alcohol. I found out I was having a little boy. But I was scared because I didn't know what last name to give him. My mother says to me at McDonald's, "A last name is just a last name." I looked at her and I said, "Dad's not my real dad, is he?" And she says, "No, he's not." My dad died December 13th, 1999. And then I ended up getting pregnant, had Kimberly, then I had Vivian, and then my husband walked away. And I chose to go into a relationship with a woman that ended up abusing my children. I was so mentally ill that I couldn't even take care of myself. And my children were suffering. When she walked away, I crashed. My girls were living with their dad. Brendan was living with his dad. And I overdosed. I was on life support for 3 days. About a year later, I meet a man who was very, very abusive. Put me in the hospital 8 times. And my son witnessed the abuse. My son witnessed me cutting myself. A few other things took place that day. And my son had the strength and the courage to contact the state and put himself in the system. The day I signed the paperwork was one of the hardest days of my life. At this point, my girls had walked away from me completely, and now I've lost my son. I knew I was crashing, and I knew the man standing by my side was helping me crash, and I didn't know how to get out. November 10th, I woke up to him strangling me again, and I stabbed him 6 times. And then I overdosed on over 800 pills and was on life support for 5 days. When I got out of the hospital, I was homeless. November 10th, 2016, I was on 25 different medications. At this point, Brendan is living with Adam and Sarah. I do not have contact, and I did not have contact with my girls. And it's now January 22nd, 2017, when the police picked me up. I spent 36 days in jail. And I said, "God, I need one kid to stand by me." I was released, and there was my son. He said, "Mama, my sisters, they can't do this right now. They've got to be kids. But I have found the strength. Adam and Sarah have helped me see that you're sick. So I'm going to stand by you. And I'm going to watch you either finish falling flat on your face or watch you climb this mountain. Which one is it going to be?" I said, "I choose the mountain." On my birthday last year, he says to me, "Mama, do you remember when I put that mountain in front of you?" I said, "I do." He said, "It's been an honor to watch you climb that mountain and keep on going." While I was in jail, I remember clearly having the thought, "I'm so grateful for Adam and Sarah," because I knew my son was safe. I knew he was healthy. I knew he was eating. I knew he was going to school, and I knew he was being loved. And if it weren't for my son having foster parents, I don't think I would have been okay. His foster parents brought him to see me numerous times. They welcomed me in their home. They helped me in many ways. And then April of this year, I knew without a doubt, I wouldn't watch Kimberly graduate. And on June 1st, I got her a graduation card and I wrote the most sincere letter, accepting responsibility for my actions, asking for forgiveness and telling her how much I loved her. And then a week later, I wrote a letter to her sister saying the same things. And I got on my knees and I said my second real prayer. And I said, God, you know I don't believe. So if you're real, I need my girls. 2 weeks later, I get a message from my son. Mama, with this phone number, many things in your life are about to change. All that hard work and all that patience, it's paid off. This is Kimberly's phone number. She wants to talk to you. Good job, I love you. She and I talked, started rebuilding our relationship. 2 hours later, I get a text. Hi, Mama, this is Vivian. Can we talk? My family was put back together. Brendan had gone back and forth telling his sisters how I was doing. He was the glue that held us together. He found that strength because 2 people stepped up to the plate and became parents to him when I was failing because I was sick. I have seen all 3 of my kids together and been able to hug all 3 of them together twice now. I fully believe that there need to be more good foster parents. Because a lot of times it's not the kids that are falling apart, it's the parents. And those children need a place to call home until mom and dad can be okay. If it hadn't been for the foster care system, my son may have gone down a very bad path. But he didn't, because there were people there to love him. There were people there to guide him and help him through where his biological parents were lacking. 2 months ago, my counselor declared me mentally healthy. In 2016, I was on 25 different medications. Today, I'm on 6. While I may not have been the best mother, I did love my kids dearly. And I do know that it was them believing in me that ultimately allowed me to believe in myself.